Incremental readings. It's time to talk about the priority bias. It's a cognitive bias that you and everyone else will experience, not just at the beginning with Supermemo, but always, forever. So the point is to be aware of this bias and how you can overcome or mitigate this bias. So this is an overview of the priority queue, what it is, that the 0 is the highest. The most important element is in the position 1. The queue is relative. So when you change the priority position, the 3rd becomes the 4th, the 999 becomes the 1000, and so on. We have seen that already. Awesome. So what's the rationale of this priority bias? The entire priority system was designed to combat a specific bias, the priority bias. Because we have the natural tendency to believe that what is new, hey, I just found this article, it's awesome, it's super important. We have the recency bias, right? So every time when we set priorities, we will set priorities higher than the last time. And it will be a never-ending reprioritization that it will make priorities useless. Because what is more recent will be more important by default. So just sorting by recency will be the same as sorting by priority, almost. But why does priority bias happen? Because we instinctively underestimate the value of sheer volume of articles and knowledge we have already collected. First, we forget. My collection, I have 19,000, I have extracts, and not just sources, but I can tell you in sources, I have more than 5,000. I still have some images. Roughly speaking, I have 4,000 and something references. Oh wow, 4,000 sources, articles, books, whatever. It's a massive deal. It's a sheer volume. But I underestimate the value of all of this because it's not present in my mind, all of that. I know, this is super awesome because it's novel, but I cannot compare it with the 4,000 I already have. Perhaps I've read, in the process of reading, or just waiting to be read. They are just collected. So, going deeper into the psychology of underestimation. Okay. We have introduced priorities. Now it's time to know what is a priority bias. Okay, so let's continue with the psychology of this underestimation. Our biology, our memory is biologically weak at estimating the size of our own knowledge, the true cost of learning, and the power of forgetting. It's the same like astronomy, right? Yes, I know what a mile is or a kilometer, but do I know what 10 billion or trillion of kilometers or miles are? I cannot comprehend the distance of the sun and the earth, right? It's too massive. So then, the result is a constant underestimation of what we already know. We know more than we think we do, even though we forget a massive deal of what we learn, and the volume of material we have waiting in our incremental reading process, which for me is in the more than 28,000. Let's follow an analogy. The priority bias makes us feel like the shiny new discovery is a golden nugget, while we forget the treasure chest we have already been filling. So we have a lot of treasures, prior golden nuggets, but one because it was especially unexpected. Oh, it's super shiny golden nugget. But hey, I had one from yesterday, right? We undervalue those already. Recency bias as well. So then, how Supermemo tries to combat this bias, because it's not an entire solution. The priority queue makes this bias visible. While you keep using Supermemo, after a while you realize, as some people say, hey bro, I'm getting always the same stuff. I'm getting always the most recent stuff I imported, and the older stuff is into oblivion. Here you go. You just realize you're a victim of the priority bias. So you can visually see how large volumes of new, exciting material displays all the material from your focus. Pushes this away in a way because you will do only the high priority stuff. So everything else is postponed or waiting for you. But before going there, you will import more stuff. So it is forever waiting for you. Then, Supermemo automates the management of information overflow. Through what? Through the priority queue. Helping you to reconcile volumes of learning with high knowledge retention. Supermemo allows the user to increase their learning volume without the constant worry of losing their hard-earned knowledge. That, hey, I have a chest with golden nuggets, but as long as I keep using Supermemo and I do spaced repetition, I will keep the value of the chest while I'm getting new golden nuggets. So you need to worry about that. So quote, with the priority queue, you can nearly take away the moderation factor and increase the volume of learning even further without undue worry about your hard-earned knowledge. So it's more or less more like compensating of what we just said. That's okay, I turn off this worry because I know I trust the algorithm, but I not just trust it. I know how it works, at least at high level, and I do prioritize. I can trust the algorithm, but if I don't prioritize, you're getting to nowhere. You need to prioritize. Then, we'll leave it until here, because this is part of the course. The priority is so a big deal that I will have covered this in the theory course. I will have a standalone course, just a theory, because it's massive. More, in still more detail, all of the biases there are and so on. From the more theoretical perspective, not necessarily applied in the context of incremental reading, but without the Supermemo. So remember, there's always a bias. You always have a bias. That's why you need time to adjust. And prioritize well takes time. That's all for now. See you incrementally.